If your pinky flies up or your fourth and fifth fingers feel weak and unreliable, especially when you try to play faster or louder, this is a very common issue. I see it all the time with students. It doesn't mean that you aren't suited for the piano. It simply means that something is not right in the way you're moving or approaching the keys. Most pianists think that this is a strength problem, but it usually isn't. Today, I'd like to show you 4 ways to overcome this problem. First, we need to talk about tension. Tension is at the root of your flying pinky. If your fifth finger is sticking up while you play, it is usually not weak. It is tension in your hand. Usually it occurs when you play the fourth fingers because of the tendon that links the fourth and the fifth fingers. The first thing we must address is how to release that tension. One way to do that is with repetition that does not involve a lot of note changes. The reason this helps is that it allows you to focus on releasing tension instead of worrying about what note comes next. For example, try something very simple like this. 1, 2, 3, then your thumb under. Now, when you play that thumb, don't let your fourth or your fifth fly up. Then you go under the fourth finger. Notice how my fifth fingers stay touching the keys. One more, we're going to go clear out to the thumbs here after we play the fifth fingers. So we're playing 6 notes now. The purpose here is not strengthening. It is retraining and coordination and releasing excess effort so that you can relax the tension and train your fingers to stay on the keys and not fly up. So let's talk about how that applies to scales. If we're doing any scale in any key, what I see most of the time where the pinky sticks up is when playing the thumbs under, I'll see this, or when playing the fourth finger, so going up, then I'll see this, the hand or many fingers sometimes fly up. It isn't just the fifth. I had a university student that came to me, it was her first lesson, and I saw that right off the bat. I saw the hands and the hand position was wrong. The fingers were flying up. And I knew I had to do something to help her to get out of that tense mode that she was in. She was extremely tense. What I did with her, I'm just going to show you on a C scale because you don't have to worry about black keys here and you can work on this. I had her play the notes and keep her fourth and fifth fingers touching the keys. She had to go slow because she was so used to letting them fly up. Yes, the speed was very slow and it has to be at first. In the left hand, start with all 5 notes. Down. Now when you cross over, don't let your hand fly up like this. When you go up, cross over, and keep the fifth finger down on a key. So we're going to drag those fingers along. I saw such a huge difference in this student in 1 week. And from that point forward, whenever she played her scales, I didn't see the fingers fly up anymore. She worked so hard to make that change. Now, I don't see it happen that fast with most students. It'll take 2, 3 weeks. Sometimes it takes a longer time. Another way to practice this is to practice in clusters or groupings of notes. So on the C scale, You have groups 1, 2, and 3. Then your thumb goes under. You don't let your fifth finger fly up when your thumb goes under. Keep your fifth finger intact with the keys. Now when the thumb goes under, keep these down. And this brings us to something extremely important: rotation. Rotation is incredibly important in reducing tension. If you only move your fingers, you will feel tension almost immediately. The fourth and fifth fingers cannot function freely when the wrist is rigid. The fingers alone are not designed to do all the work. They need the help of the arms and the wrists. You can experiment with this in the Hanon exercises. If you play any Hanon exercise with just your fingers, you'll notice that you have a lot of tension in your hand. You won't be able to play very loud or very fast. Hanon number 36 is a wonderful example of how important rotation is. The exercise is this. And when I give it to students, they'll come back and they'll be playing it like this. And I'll see these fingers all over the place like that. And I'll say, well, can you play it faster? And they'll say, no, that's as fast as I can get it. And then I show them how to use rotation to their advantage. I have them do this, play this. Now, use the wrist to rotate. I can see a lot of change just from that rotation. It's not only the wrist, it's the whole arm that has to participate in that. So we've talked about reducing tension. Now we need to look at arm alignment. To have stronger fourth and fifth fingers, your arms must support those fingers. This is very important. If your arms are staying behind these first, second, and third fingers, you're going to have very weak fourth and fifth fingers. The arms must come out behind those fingers to give them strength. Put your hands on your knees in a piano position. Keep your arms to your side so that they're right behind the first, second, and third fingers. Now play the thumbs, the second fingers, the thirds. Now play the fourths and the fives. Notice how much weaker this 4 and the 5 is. Now I want you to try this. Play 1, 2, 3. Now let the arms come out and play 4 and 5. So the arms are out. Notice I'm coming in and I'm going out. I want you to feel how much different it feels for those fourth and fifth fingers when the arm is behind them. This is not finger strength. This is structural support from the arm. When your arm is positioned correctly, the outer fingers immediately feel stronger. Many pianists try to fix fourth and fifth finger issues by lifting all of their fingers higher. That won't solve the problem. The strength in your fingers comes from your wrists and your arms if you're using them properly. If your wrists are low and your knuckles collapse, the fourth and fifth fingers lose leverage. So it's important that the wrists be up, the arm be out enough to give those fingers some strength from the arm and the wrist. Don't let your arm and your hand collapse like this. Finally, we need to consider your overall body position at the piano to improve coordination and relaxation. If you're sitting too high or too low or too far forward, you will feel tension. Sit far enough back that your arms can move freely. Demonstrate that. If I'm back here, Notice I'm far enough back that I'm able to let my arm move freely in front of my body, and my body's not in the way. The other thing is you want to sit only halfway forward on your bench. Make sure that all of your weight is on your legs. Lean forward. Don't let your weight be back here. Don't sit like that. That won't help you in playing the piano. It's very important that you use your whole body whenever you're playing and you have freedom of movement. So if your fourth and fifth fingers feel weak, remember it's because of tension, improper arm alignment, and hand and body position, not finger weakness. If you would like a few exercises to practice the techniques I've mentioned today, we have a free PDF called Unique Piano Technique, linked below. If you notice your pinky lifting or your outer fingers feeling weak when you play scales, especially as you increase the speed, watch my lesson on chromatic scale technique next. I'll see you there.